I just watched a video from a female that I was sent. Now, the name of the video should tell you what it is about. This is a female, and the name of the video says, "Trans women are not females." Somebody automatically looking at that title would, you know, be like, all right, she's about to try to go in and get cute. You know how fish does and all that kind of stuff. But when you listen to the video, not all of it. Some of it is, I'll get to that later. In the beginning, everything she says in the beginning of the video, I actually 100% agree with. And I have always said this on my channel. There is a difference on some levels between us and them. But there is also similarities that some of them don't accept between us and them. Let's start off by one of the points that she made. There is a difference between woman and female. Woman changes and varies throughout different cultures. Female does not. Female is, you were born with a vagina. Your chromosome said that, girl, I can make babies and I have a uterus, I'm going to bleed every month. Boom. Woman is a gender identity. Females are forced to have the identity of womanhood because they have a vagina. Okay? Trans women choose womanhood over the forced manhood. That being male, because they were born male, society forces them to be a man, but they don't want that because that's not what they feel like in their mind and in their soul. They identify and relate to the womanhood, so that's the life that they live. Okay? Females are forced to be, or forced to have, the woman identity. Sometimes they don't, and then they usually go to being after M. But male and female and man and woman is two different concepts. Female is sex, genes. Woman is how you dress, how you present to the world, your identity that can be chosen, that has nothing to do with genes. That's social constructs. What a woman is in this culture is a difference from what a woman is in this culture. But what a female is in this culture is the same as what a female is in this culture. Because they're based on genetics. Okay. I think that's what the confusion comes in at. So when she says, you're not a female, you're not, girl. You are a woman, but you're not a female. Accept it. That's just keeping it 100% real. It's not devaluing your womanhood. It's just calling a spade a spade. You were born a male. And I know a lot of, trans women can't accept that. Nobody is saying you are a man. You are, or you're not allowed to be a woman, or nobody is saying that. But we're getting you to realize the fact of the matter that this is your path, and it is okay that this is the history that you came from. Okay? It is okay that you were born a male and you transitioned to be a woman. It is fine. It is okay. You need to be respected just as anybody, any other woman needs to be respected. Okay? And when you try to deny that, I think it's delusional. I think it's delusional when you try to act like you come from the same path when that is not the case. That is not the case. Facts. That is not the case. And it's not about forcing, you to be a man, or forcing you to, any of craziness about forcing you to devaluing your womanhood. That's not what it's about. It's about this is the path that you came from. We understand that there is a difference between being a female and being a woman. Okay? She makes this diagram. The diagram is perfect. The diagram is not the problem because the diagram is perfect. She has a circle. She has two circles. Part of the circles are intertwined. Within the section of the circles being intertwined, it's a diagram. She calls out things that are similar in the experience, the oppression of trans women. And then outside of them, outside the circle, there are things that trans women deal with, and there's things that females don't deal with. And then there's things that females deal with, that trans women deal with, within this womanhood. Okay? And reading the list and all that kind of stuff, I thought it was perfect. There are things, sexual harassment, we both go through. Rape, we both go through. Oppression, we both go through. But there are certain things specific to female oppression that they go through. And those things that she talks about, I agree with. What happens in the beginning of her video, she's rational and logical. But as she goes on throughout the video, you can tell by some of the examples and the words and the things that she says that her life experiences starts to blur her judgment on these things. Okay? There's some anger in her. There is some victimization in her. And sometimes in women's lives, that is justifiable. You know, there was a story, she says, if I've slept with you consensually, or you raped me, and you try to come to me and say that you are a woman now, I'm not going to accept that. Now, she went from talking about, I can't accept you as a female. Now, I can accept you as a woman, but I can't accept you as a female. And then she went, because of her specific situation, I can't accept you as a woman. Do you see how she switched the meanings within the video? Within the same video, she started to switch and intertwine the meanings. In her conversation, she goes through this angry mode. You know, you raped me and stuck your dick into every one of my orifices. Just the tone of her language lets you know that there is some anger there. And maybe some justifiable anger, you know, but she's lashing out because of the sexism that she's experienced within this, you know, female oppressive world. The female experience, they can be raped and bear children with these rapists and have to be forced. Look at the whole abortion issue. They're forced to take care of these babies. You know, that whole sexism cloud over women's bodies, they have to deal with. We don't have to deal with that particular issue. But because how I think about it, if she really felt that that woman is a woman and I can respect you as a woman, but I can't respect you as a female, then the person who she consensually had sex with, if he can't, regardless if y'all had sex together or not, if he comes to you and now he has acknowledged that, you know, I'm a trans woman and this is where I'm at now, you should respect her womanhood. No, you should not respect her trying to say she's a female, because she's not. But you should respect her womanhood regardless. It's just like my mom, who birthed me, who saw my penis, saying that I saw your penis, I'm not going to respect your womanhood. That's not fair to me, regardless if we had. She knows for a fact what I was born. She should not have to respect femaleness because I wasn't born a female. That's just the simple facts of the matter. But my womanhood, if this is how I choose to live my life, should always be respected. So that was one of the problems that I had when she was saying just because I fucked the dude, I don't have to respect, you know, this person's transition once they transition. You know, I think I have a problem with that. Because something that contradicts what she said in the beginning. Have you met black people who always play the racism card? Some women always play the sexism card because they have been affected by sexism so often that sometimes they overdo the sexism card. And I think this is one of those type of women. That's why the anger and that in her, just like when you see a black person, oh, it's racist and da, da, da. And sometimes the situation may not be racist, even though racism exists and they may experience racism in some other situations, but every situation is not racism. Every situation is not sexism. And that's my point. I think this is one of those women that who has been victimized, and just like when you see a pet from adoption agencies and they've been abused in their lives, there's certain levels of their behavior that is permanently scarred. Their conversation, how they interact with the world, all of that kind of stuff. They've been hurt by society's oppression. And so their whole interactions with trans people, you know, I'm compared it to the dog. Their whole interactions is just permanently changed because of that oppression and abuse and victimization that they have went through their lives. So when you see someone like this woman that I'm discussing, more than likely that is the case. That is my, diagnosis of her. That type of victimization, playing the victim, is in trans women too. Like any other marginalized groups, we are screaming from the bottom of the barrel to be validated and understood, and calling out for people to understand our space and our experience and our situation that is delicate, and our situation that is hard, our situation that is individual to us. I think there are trans women that do that, and there are females that do that. And she is one of those females that are just trying to they want to find a space and to get you, anybody who is listening to her, to understand this is my space, this is my experience, this is what I am going through, this is me. I don't want somebody to try to force somebody who is not appropriately in this space to be here. This is what I go through. This is the problem. This is the issue. I'm selfish about this space because I am angry. I am victimized. I am marginalized. I am all of these negative things in this space, and I want you to fix it, and I want you to understand it. I want you to deal with it. That's why I'm talking. That's why I'm screaming out. That is the problem. And when people, that space, people are selfish, viciously selfish about that space. We are, she is. We just want you to understand that this is our space. I'm saying this from her perspective. I am a female. I want you to understand and hear the problems and oppression and stuff that I go through as a female. When I'm talking about them, I don't need a trans woman in my ear talking about, oh, I go through the same thing too. You need to be open to me. You need to be open and accept me in that space. No, bitch, I don't, because you don't go through the same shit I go through. You don't. Have a seat over there in your transgender space and let me deal with this female space. Okay? That's what she's doing. Understand it. And nothing is wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with you expressing it. Expressing your problem and your issues and wanting your space for people to understand, and wanting people to understand it and the uniqueness of that experience. And that goes back to what I talk about with trans women. It is okay to be trans. It is okay to be that space and enjoy that box and that experience, and to share it and understand that this is my unique situation. This is my unique situation. I want you to know the problems and the oppression and the love and the whatever else that it comes, the positive and the negative. A lot of people are more, you know, angry and more passionate about the negatives. You get what I'm saying? So you're going to see them lash out more about the negatives, but the space encompasses positive and negative. So you have to accept that that is your path. And, you know, usually the people that clash with honesty and clash with somebody giving those facts are the people who haven't accepted the path, who still haven't dealt with the path. You cannot tell me that me and my mom come from the same path. We have, as a female, her going through being raised how she was, being raised to be submissive and subservient and this pure all of this kind of stuff. As a female, I didn't go through that. That's not the path I went through. I went through a transgender path where I was born a male, was raised as a little boy because that was what was assumed by my parents that I was supposed to do. So they taught me as a child to live as a little boy because that's what they expected. They didn't know that I was genetically transgender and my mind would go one way in the birth, in the womb, and my body would go another way. They didn't know that. But as I got older and acknowledged that, I started to make my own choices and live my own life. So this is the transgender path. All those details create the transgender path. It does not create the female path. Understand that. That's the only thing I'm saying. A lot of people won't get it or you won't accept it. But I'm not saying that you're a man or any of that. I'm saying that you have to accept the type of path that you came from. And that's what it is. And that part of her video I do agree with. And I don't feel that it is trans bashing to say that. I don't think it's transphobic to say that. I'm a transgender woman and I'm not transphobic at all. And I agree with those particular statements that she makes. Now, there's other things that I'm like, okay, you're getting you playing the victim now. And even though I understand it, I think you're taking it to the next level. I guess the trans people have been attacking her and trying to get her deleted. I still think it's a beautiful discussion and this can open up some conversation and we can discuss it in the comment box. As I'm the type of person, if you disagree with me, that's fine. Just do not be disrespectful. Share your opinion and leave it at that. And we can go back and forth, but don't be disrespectful. And then we'll be fine. I don't mind people disagreeing with me. I mind disrespect. So be conscious of that. Let's discuss it. I'm going to put the link to the video in the bottom so y'all can check it out and then come back here and tell me what y'all think. And share this video because I would love people to discuss it as well. Other people. All right. Bye-bye.